Hello everyone, how are you? My name is Dr. Iyabo. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're doing well today. I'm a business and lifestyle coach. I'm a board certified pediatrician. I'm also an author, a lifestyle blogger, and I'm also a wife and a mom and a motivational speaker. And I'm also on the board of Flow Health, which is the largest women's wellness app in the world. Now, welcome to my page. Yes, I've told you everything I do. I do wear many hats, and I'm sure that you out there also wear many hats like I do, but I have ways to be able to manage all those hats and multitask efficiently. And that's what my platform is for. My YouTube channel basically talks about, well, I discuss topics based on business and entrepreneurship and wealth building and financial freedom, financial independence on one hand, and also on the other hand, a lot of my videos are directed towards dating and relationships for the single and for married. And then all the replays of my tea time talk show on Instagram Live are also on my YouTube channel. So welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you will subscribe today. I hope you'll hit the subscribe button and you will share the video with your friends. So today I'm finally doing the video that a lot of you single women have asked me about, because on my posts on Instagram and on a few of my videos on YouTube, I have talked about how I bought my own house when I was still single. I was divorced for 10 years. I just got remarried last year, 2020. It's amazing that 2020 is, we're now referring to it as last year. I got married last year after 10 years of divorce, but I did buy my own home when I was single. And many of you want to know how I was able to do that as a single woman. Because like I preach often, because you're single doesn't mean you should put your life on hold. Right? Whether you're single or married, you should never put your life, your hopes and your dreams on hold. And if you're single and you want to buy a nice house and you can afford it, or you want to find out how you can do it, that is what I want to discuss with you today. Obviously, all the tips I'm giving also applies to married women as well. Obviously, if you're married and you want to buy a home, you'll be buying that with your husband, but all that you may be, it depends on your home and how you manage your finances and whether you do things together or not. Every home is unique. But everything I'm saying today, all the tips about buying a home for women, whether you're single or married, are still the same. But this video is especially for married women who do want to buy their own home. Now, depending on what part of the world you're in, I live in the States. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I know many of my YouTube viewers are in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Uganda. I do have many people that follow me on social media that live in Africa. Obviously, I was born and raised in Nigeria and West Africa, right? I also have viewers who live in the UK, and then there's even viewers of people, friends who follow me on social media who are from other countries. So you'll just have to kind of modify what I'm saying to suit the way that homes are bought in your country, but it's all fundamentally the same. So the first question is, if you're single and you want to buy a home, what kind of home do you want to buy? How big do you want it to be? You know, you have to be specific. If you want to go, like anything else in life, if you have something you want to achieve, you have to be specific. You don't just say, I want to buy a house, but where? You have to journal and be specific. What kind of house do you want to buy? Or even flats. Some people just want to buy a flat or a condominium. So you have to be specific. If it's a house, how many bedrooms would you like it to have? How many bathrooms would you like it to have? Would you prefer that it's 1 or 2 levels? You know, these are all the things you have to visualize in your quiet time and decide what kind of home you want to buy. Flat or house or townhome, all of that. Would you like it to have a garden, or would you prefer that it doesn't have a garden? You know, there are all sorts of things that we all dream about. Some people would rather stay in an apartment, right? In a flat where they're not staying in a home. So think about, what kind of house do you want to buy? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms would you like it to be? Do you want it to be a brand new house or a used house? You know, and if it's been lived in before, how many years? Do you want a house that is between 1 to 5 years old, or you don't mind if it's up to 20 to 50 years old? So these are all specifics that you do have to decide, because it is a big venture and you have to be sure of your desires and what you want. This is something that I had thought of. After my divorce, I knew I wanted a house, but I waited. I got divorced in 2010. I didn't buy my house for 7 years after, because I just really wanted to save money and buy the real house of my dreams. So once you decide the kind of house you want to buy, then you have to look at your finances, right? So if you're renting right now, how much are you paying on rent, right? Are you in a lot of debt? Do you have student loans? Do you have credit card loans? What is your money flow like? Do you have a good savings account? Do you have an 8 to 12 month emergency fund in case something happens that you have to pay for that you didn't think about? And then health insurance, depending on what part of the world you're in. Do you have adequate health insurance? Especially if you're an older 30, 40, 50-year-old lady, you do want to make sure that you have health insurance, or you do have some kind of emergency fund put aside just in case something happens that you need it for. Do you have a retirement fund? A lot of us overlook retirement funds. Honestly, there's very few women in the States that I talk to that actually have retirement funds, and that's a problem, right? We all want to grow old, we want to be healthy, we want to have long lives. So we do want to retire at some point. Do you have a retirement fund you're saving into? Do you have a college fund? Are you one of those women who believe in a college fund for your kids? So these are all the things you have to look at. Your daily expenses, right? You know, what are you paying on cable, on your utilities, power, water, electricity, gas, all of that? How much do you spend on groceries? You have to write down your budget, your financial budget, and see how much it is you're making and how much is going out every month. And then you're going to then decide what kind of house or flat you want to buy, and about how much do you want the house to be, right? Because you have to cut your coat according to your size. If you're earning $50,000 a year and you want to go and buy a house that is $1 million or $500,000, then you're overstepping. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm just giving you very raw tips on how I was able to buy my house. Please find a financial expert, a CPA or tax attorney, or those kinds of people to talk to. But I'm just giving you basic tips today, sister to sister, woman to woman, that I was able to consider before I bought my house. What area of town do you want it in? How big do you want it? How much do you want the house to be? How much are you making? What are your ins and outs and especially what are you paying on rent now? And I'll tell you why that is so important. Again, the part of town that you buy the house in, how much safety do you want? Make sure you buy a house in a part of town, in the part of the world you're living in, that is relatively safe. Some people also have a priority of the school district, because if you want your kids to go to public school, you also want to make sure that the district you want to buy the house in has good schools. They have good SAT scores, and they just have good, records about their educational level. So these are all the things to put into consideration, right? So I definitely want to make sure that you get all those basics right. Now I'm going to tell you what I did. So I told you I was divorced for 10 years. I decided to not buy a house in a hurry, because I knew the specific part of Atlanta that I really wanted to buy a house in, and that part of town isn't cheap. It's actually one of the most expensive parts of Atlanta. But I thought, well, I've been working hard for years, I have my own business, why not? So I knew I wanted a house in that part of town. I knew that I wanted a townhome. Now, a townhome, if you don't live in America or you don't know what a townhome is a house that is connected to other homes. And they usually don't have big gardens. I knew that I didn't need a big garden because my daughters are grown up. I didn't want the hassle of having to tend to some big yard somewhere. And how much time do we even spend in the yard? Honestly, I mean, it does look pretty, But if you think about it, how much time do we actually spend in our yard? So I knew the kind of home I wanted. I kind of knew the price range of what those homes would be. And listen to this, very important, two things. I knew that I wanted, obviously, I wasn't going to pay the whole amount of the house down. I knew that I wanted to pay at least a third of the cost of the house, a third. I wanted to put that down on the mortgage. And then I also wanted to make sure that my monthly mortgage was either equal or even a little bit less to the rent that I was paying, so that buying a house wouldn't really affect my monthly expenses. Did you hear that? So after my divorce, I was renting for a long time, and I was renting in a nice part of town also. So the rent was quite high already. But because I had already been renting for so long, I had made my budget and I knew what my rent was, what my other expenses were. I just wanted to make sure that whatever my mortgage was for that remaining 2/3 that I had to be paying monthly, that it was close to or less than my rent, so that I didn't have a big jump up of monthly expenses. So this is why you really need to be good with your numbers. You have to know your numbers, or you have to have a CPA that can help you if you don't know your numbers. This is the mistake a lot of people get into. They don't really look into their numbers. They go and buy a house that they can't afford, and then it gets repossessed, or they just cannot afford to pay the mortgage. So you have to look at what you're bringing. There's many factors like I've laid down for you. These are all the things you have to consider. But knowing me, I have an entrepreneurial mind, I have a business mindset and a growth mindset. I'm always thinking of investments. So that's why I really wanted to be patient to buy my house in a very nice part of town, because I know that no matter what, that house would appreciate in value, because it's in such a good area. And honestly, lo and behold, by God's grace, this is what, I bought it in 2017, this is 2021. After 18 months of being in this house, my house had already appreciated by a lot of money. I'm not going to tell you those numbers, and this is why it is so critical to know the part of town you're buying in. If you can afford it, again, never ever do anything beyond your means. Take a step at a time, right? I didn't jump into this 7 years after my divorce before I bought my own house. In 2017, I was 47 years old. So there's no need to jump into things. But if you do want a house now, then like I've said, look at your salary, look at your expenses. How much are you paying in rent? How much can you afford to put down? And I'm going to talk about the down payment in a second. I saved for a while to put down that big chunk of down payment, because my house is quite expensive. But it was it is a good investment. We're still living there now. This is where my husband owned his own house before we got married. But, he sold his own house and now we live together. But of course, when you're married, you have to live together. But after 18 months, like I'm saying, because I bought it in a part of house that is a sought after part of town, just after 18 months, honestly, I was getting letters in the post like back to back from realtors asking me if I wanted to sell my house. I'm like, no, why would I sell my house? I want to live here. I have no plans to move out. They're like, oh, but you can make this amount. Your house has already appreciated by this amount. I'm like, yay. I'm happy, but I'm not ready to sell my house, because obviously this is a growing area. Those of you who live in Atlanta, I live in Buckhead. It's a growing area. There are buildings going up every day. They're making it a very walkable city. It's just growing a lot. So obviously, again, depending on the pandemic and the recession and all of that, only God knows what's going to happen in the next few years. But if everything goes the way it should be going, properties will appreciate in this area. But again, all that's in God's hands. Yeah, so this is why I was very strategic about the area that I was buying in. And also, they're very nice houses. I like my comfort because I have worked hard. And why not? If you've worked hard and you can afford it, go ahead and get yourself a comfortable home, but never ever buy something that is beyond your means. So I hope you've gotten all those things I said. Now, the down payment is key. I was determined to put down a third of the cost of the house, just so that my monthly mortgage wouldn't be extremely high, and because I wanted to try to match what my rent was, so that buying a house wasn't going to make me feel uncomfortable. Because buying a house, you have to remember that it's not like renting. With renting, you can call your landlord and say, something's broken down, the wall is this, that is this, come and fix it. When it's your house, it's your house. So you even have to have, like, you know, funds on the side, just in case there's repairs in the house, especially if you buy a used home, a home that is not brand new. Those give a lot of problems. So yeah, so I wanted to make sure that the amount I'd been paying for rent would be about the same as my monthly mortgage. So I had run the numbers, and I realized that I had to put a big chunk of down payments down. Now, depending on the part of the world you're in Africa, I think, yeah, there are people that do this on mortgages now. When I was growing up, my parents bought all their homes cash down. So it just depends on the part of the world you're in. But what I want to end this video with is that if I wasn't an entrepreneur, if I didn't have my own business from 2003, 2004 until 2017, where I was able to make a lot of money and save the money, I probably won't be able to buy this kind of house. So this boils down again to my passion for wanting to encourage women to be entrepreneurs, to be their own boss, and to have their own business, even doctors. Yeah, but you know, again, I know not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur, and not even everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. Some people are just happy being employed, and that's fine. You know, we all find our happiness in different ways. But my job and my passion is to let you know all the benefits of entrepreneurship. There's just so many. So part of it is that you'll be able to earn a salary that you probably will never be able to earn as an employee, right? Unless you're the lucky few who can, you know, climb up the ladder in Fortune 500 companies and earn, you know, millions every year. Yes, but that's not the reality for most people, especially for minorities, right? So I wanted to use this video to emphasize and to remind women that yes, to buy your own house is very, very possible. To buy a nice house, your dream house or dream apartment is possible, but it's going to be even faster if you become an entrepreneur. And entrepreneurship is not rocket science. As long as you have a good mentor, a good business coach who can show you the best kind of business for yourself. And I'm gifted in this. I'm already coaching women with this. You don't have to have some big degree or have an MBA, or these MBAs are good. I'm not talking down MBAs. If you have an MBA, that is wonderful, because then you have a lot of leadership skills, marketing skills. MBAs are fantastic, but they're not needed. They're not necessary or required to be able to start your business. So if you're still dilly-dallying and not sure, especially now with the way things are going in the world, with the pandemic and everything going online and virtual, this is the time. I mean, you're on YouTube. After you're done watching my video, you can go and watch other videos on YouTube about online businesses and how the business world is changing and the digital space. You have to evolve with the times. So if you're female that is watching this video and you're still employed and you're still not sure about which business or if you can open a business, it's because you don't have the right business coach yet. If you have the right business coach, they'll interview you, talk to you, they'll be able to extract your creative gifts out of you. So, and I'm very skilled at doing that. Obviously, I would be honored to be your business coach so I can help you set up your own business. Because entrepreneurship is fantastic, but it's not going to grow overnight. So the faster you start, the better, right? If you start now, then in the next 2 to 5 years, you'll be reaping big rewards if you manage your business well. So that's how I wanted to end this, that yes, you can buy your house, but it will be even much easier if you own your own business and you can make 3 times, 5 times, maybe even 10 times what you're making now as an employee. Then you can save up faster to buy your own house, and you can even invest in real estate, right? There's many people doing that who buy homes or buy flats and then resell them or rent them out. Real estate is a good investment. So I hope this video helped. I hope it really helped. I hope you've learned something about how I was able to buy my house, why I bought my house in the area I bought it in. Again, I wasn't concerned about the school district because my kids go to private school. But for some people, especially in America, that's a big deal, because if they want their kids to go to really solid public schools, then that's a big factor for them. Some people really take their time to figure out where to buy the house depending on how good the schools are. So these are all the things you have to think of. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments here or send them to my DM on Instagram. I'll be happy to answer them. But the best thing you can do for yourself in 2021 is to hire me as your business and lifestyle coach, so that I can help you evolve in these evolving times. And you can start to set up your own business, be your own boss, and start to make a lot of money, so you can start to impact lives, make your life better, make other people's lives better, and have money to be able to do all these things and build real wealth, right? Okay, I hope this video helped. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, so if you need to figure out your finances a little bit more specifically and accurately, make sure you talk to your money person, your CPA, or your bookkeeper or accountant or somebody. But you still have to know your own numbers, right? As women, we don't know our numbers. You have to know your numbers. You have to know what's coming in and what's going out, right? What's coming in should be a lot more than what's going out. If what's going out is more than what's coming in, you're in a deficit. You need to reorganize your life. Maybe you need to cancel cable, cut back on eating out, cut back on takeout, cut back on Uber Eats, or cut back on all the vanity stuff, so that you can invest your money in good things. If you really do go and research the studies now, this is not a time to be spending money anyhow. However, all studies that I've read recently, because I read a lot and I totally agree, the one thing that you should be spending your money on now is your personal development, because it is so needed now for you to be solid with your personal and professional development, so that you can, pivot and evolve with the times, change your mindset with the evolving times, so you can start to make money in the online space, in the digital space. So that is one thing you should be spending your money on. Yes, I am asking you to hire me as your coach, but I also want to help you, because this is vital. Even if you decide you don't want to hire me and you go to another coach, I'll still be happy for you and celebrate you that you're using your money for your personal and your professional development, because that is key. That is something that we women don't spend money on. And in these times, you need to reinvent your mindset. You need to refresh and reset and recalibrate your mindset. We're not doing business or career like before. Times are changing and you need to change and evolve with them. And if you don't know what to do, there are many people out there who know what to do. So that's one thing you should be spending your money on your own personal and professional developments, by hiring solid and experienced coaches or consultants or experts who can help you reset and recalibrate your life, so that by the end of 2021, you'll be like, oh my God, oh my goodness, I'm so happy that I listened to Dr. Iyabo's video and I hired her as my coach. See where I am now. I'm earning so much more. I feel so inspired, I'm motivated, I'm so fulfilled. My life has changed. You have to take action in your life, okay? So I hope that you single women out there, that you enjoyed this. I hope this met up to your expectations on how you wanted me to share with you how I bought my house. I hope it helped you, and I hope that you will invest in yourself so that you can be a better you, so that the you that is watching this video now will not be the you that is watching my video 1 year from now. You'll be an evolved and more successful you. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. I release 2 to 3 videos a week, so make sure you subscribe and just hang on to watch the next video, because I have a lot of videos on business and wealth development. So at the end of this video, just wait until the next video comes on and just gather even more knowledge about how to elevate and excel in 2021 and just be your own boss. If you would like to, I know some people don't want to, but if you would like to, it's time to take action. Thanks for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.